it's a different kind of trade. But when the black line is a distance away from the blue line, there's a very good chance that on a rally, the black line will not become the dominant player. So when the market sells off, it'll probably still be black leading. When the market sells off, it'll probably still be black leading. When the market sells off, it'll probably still be black leading. So we know that that means that, you know, there's still probably a very good chance that, you know, we're going to get a bit more of a downside press, and we've got a downside press, and obviously we've successfully bought into the downside press after we started to see some value divergences creeping into these tested lows. So welcome in, guys. As I said, let's get through today's numbers. Not a lot of stuff to get through, to be honest. It is one of our quiet days for a change. We're 19 minutes ahead of the data coming out. The data that we have coming out at 5:30, US import prices, Canadian manufacturing sales, Canadian wholesale trade as well coming out. That's in 20 minutes time. But that's pretty much it in the overnight session. As I said, not very much of anything of any real interest for pretty much anybody in the overnight session. So BOJ presser, obviously no change to the BOJ. That was 100% certain that we weren't going to get any change regardless. BOJ presser never provided us with anything interesting. But moving into today's business, again, these are quite minimal type outcomes. We've got the University of Michigan consumer sentiment numbers later on today at 3 o'clock. The forecast is for a 72. The prior was 69.1, so expecting to see quite a hot University of Michigan sentiment indicator there. And that probably is going to be the highlight of the day, to be honest, outside of the cash opens today, and see what happens to some of these stories. And, you know, very mindful of the fact that inside of these stories, other things can brew, and we need to make sure we get mindfulness. We need to recenter and re-anchor ourselves into that macro flow. And if we achieve the state of flow, and of course, you know, we've already got some suggestions there about getting a cushion out. Greg suggesting getting a cushion out and sitting cross-legged on it. Absolutely. And, you know, if you can get into that state of flow that we're talking about, that macro state of flow, your life moves easily. It just takes a different view of life in general, and you can start relaxing into the storylines that you see on your charts. They're a little bit more, not a little bit less, they're a little bit more informed from that bigger commercial storyline. Anyway, mindfulness macros for this afternoon's classroom. I'm going to grab some lunch, and I'll bring across the Canadian numbers if anybody's trading the loonie, and then we'll get started for the afternoon session one. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in.